Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the Universal Chinese. Let's continue exploring some Chinese idioms that mostly use two parts. One is to tell the story, what's the context, and then immediately after, what's the point of the story. That's the main message. And we just continue kind of referring to its original story that evoke the moral. Okay, 鸡蛋碰石头。鸡蛋 eggs 碰 hit on 石头 stone. So you can easily see that because this is everyday life practice, you can see what's the result. The 鸡蛋 will be cracked. There's nothing, not even a change on the 石头. So 鸡蛋 is one set phrase that in English, we have eggs because that's everyday use, things that we feed on all the time, right? So it has to be easy spelling, short English word. But Chinese actually use two words to describe that, even if I'm sure ancient Chinese people eat eggs as well. But probably ancient Chinese use 卵, just one character to mean the eggs. Oh, this is hard to write. But in contemporary Chinese, we use 鸡蛋. We actually spell out. It's not just eggs. We have to say where the eggs come from. That's from hens or chicken. So chicken is this generic term without specifying it's a hen or a rooster, but just 鸡. It's chicken. It's domesticated bird that can lay eggs for us, right? So this just the animal, and then that is the egg of it. So Chinese have to use two to define just a simple English word, egg. Okay, 石头, again, two character Chinese to pin down just one simple concept in English. It means stone. So the whole thing is just egg, strike on or hit on stone. But Chinese have to use two characters to describe it as two simple things. So 石头, we add the 头, probably because the shape of stone, most likely shaped like a spherical object, a kind of similar shape as a human's head. So we use 石头 add together to give you like more information. And of course, we know stones comes in a lot of times it's a flatter. It's not really, it's more closer to two-dimensional rather than three-dimensional. So I guess here 石头 gives you this fuller stone image, like it's a 3D 石头, not flat. It's shaped like voluminous, as if it's a head shape. So that's 石头. And 碰 is this action. And you can see in 碰 action, we already have the same, this 石 in there, this stone character embedded in 碰 in there. And from that, you can almost see it means this hard landing of as if you're hitting, striking on, like having this colliding with stone. And that's the kind of 碰 we're talking about. It's not a soft touch. It's a hard surface touch. Okay, so that's 鸡蛋碰石头 give you the action or the story. It's not a historical reference as we talked about yesterday, like 3,000 years ago, historical figure. No, this is everyday practical understanding, like common sense. You can see, you don't have to do it. You can just see what would happen if you crack your egg onto a stone. The egg will be cracked, not the stone. However, in the sentence, we say 鸡蛋碰石头. We start with 鸡蛋. We're using the egg. So this egg becomes the first perspective. Like as if we are thinking from the perspective of the egg. The egg initiate the action of the egg going to hit onto the stone. So that's the full story. Like the egg is the one who wants to do this. And 不自量力 is the result. We can see 不 is a negation of what happened after. Okay, 自量力自 is self, right? Not self-assessed power, meaning you don't have the right assessment of your own power, what you can do, what you're capable of. And this self-awareness, we often just like formed it as English. We have the self-value, self-care, self-love, right? There are a lot of expressions that we add self in front of this action. That means we do it back to ourselves, right? So in this case, Chinese concurred with the English formation. We use 自量, meaning we evaluate ourselves. We're not evaluating some other objects. We're doing it onto ourselves. So when we do the self-assessment, particularly of our power, almost like thinking from the egg perspective, how much egg can take, what impact can eggs make? Can it really break the stone by hitting onto the stone? So it's kind of, with this context of extreme, this soft, easy to crack a fragile thing, hitting onto this hard to change shape, hard surface thing, then you get this contract, this dramatic moment. And then the moral of the story is whoever is this egg acting like the egg trying to crack the stone, like you're not doing this self-assessment correctly, not the negation, like you're not really thinking about what power you really hold against the situation or the challenge you really take on. So the best translation, one word translation I can find is Quixotic. Okay. Quixotic is a historical figure, quote, Don Quixote, right? That historical figure, not historical, it's a fictional figure, but it came from a long time ago fiction. So it became part of the English language to just by using his name and change it into adjective. And then people know what it's referred to this, this crazy man who would, this middle-aged knight who would charge onto some huge thing, right? Doing this mission impossible thing. And sometimes it looks like suicidal or extreme stupidity. And that extreme assessment, like off assessment of your own capability to tackle something way huger, way tougher, like one versus a newbie versus a pro, right? That kind of extreme contrast. So this is what Chinese try to express by using the eggs and the stone, how the egg want to crack the stone by cracking itself onto the stone as if it can make a dent on that stone. So it's kind of suicidal, is idealism, but Chinese would use this expression in the context of you don't really know what they're doing. It's almost like an older person talking to a younger one, give advice like you really need to assess yourself what you can tackle on. We also have another expression, 出生牛犊不怕虎. Like your newborn ox, you don't even know what tiger is. It can eat you up, like, but because the 出生牛犊, the newborn ox, have no such pre-knowledge about what's going to happen, right? Therefore, they don't have the fear of the force or this life-threatening situation. So similarly, 鸡蛋may not be a newborn, but 鸡蛋, the egg, is willingly to sacrifice itself, to throw itself onto the stone to try to make a change over there. So this is pretty well transferred into this Quixotic expression in English. All right, thank you for your time. See you another day.